Hi Capricorn, welcome to your August 2020 Astrology 33 general reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread, and then I also pulled a couple of oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys. I will say, on the one hand, a lot of cards came up. And on the surface, it looks like a really straightforward story, though. So I don't know if this one's going to resonate with all of you, but hopefully it does. We'll get into it, though. Just wanted to put that out there, just in case. Alright. In the main situation position, we have the Four of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy here, which for you guys is your 4th house. So for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe some of you might have recently closed on a house, maybe even expanded or did some renovations around your home. But more importantly, I'm actually picking up on the vibe, and partially because of the cards that we're going to talk about in a minute in the challenge position, but partially I feel like this dynamic might have been thrown off for you, meaning that you might have been in this zone lately, but then there might have been some kind of a quarrel that might have thrown a wrench into things. And if that's the case, it looks like you can get back here this month, but I just wanted to mention that. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Nine of Wands. So this is actually the court card for Gemini, this is Leo energy, and this is Sagittarius energy. So what I'm seeing here with the Knight of Swords in reverse, this could be pointing to, since it's in the challenge position especially, I feel like for some of you there might have been an argument recently, could have been in the workplace, possibly even with family, but I'm feeling like for a lot of you this is around the romantic relationship. And the challenge here, basically, I feel like it's saying is to just let it go, right? And now let it go could mean a few different things, like if they come back around for round 2, let's say, maybe saying to try to avoid that, but it could just be saying let it go as far as try to take the time to heal from it as well. And with that Nine of Wands there, I see that could be a bit of a difficulty, right? Or maybe even you might feel like, okay, the next battle's inevitable, right? Where this guy looks like he definitely seems a bit guarded. It looks like he's already gone through battle with that bandage on his head, and it looks like he's ready for expecting more. So that's what I feel like could be the case there. And if that's the case, like I said, keep in mind you just had that Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign. Mercury is moving direct now. It's still in its shadow, though, at the time of recording this on the 18th. So it could be energy that you might feel like the energy starts to clear itself up in a positive way soon. Just wanted to mention that. In the foundation position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the good thing here with this in the foundation position, and it represents the court card for your sign, I feel like this is saying that you're grounded, you're really on the right path here, at least for the majority of you. So whatever that was that took place, looks like it's saying that energy might have been settling for you guys. You guys are, back on even keel. Now for a small percentage of you, could just be saying to be careful around not looking at that problem and just throwing yourself into your work, right? Which is a thing that people tend to do in those situations. Could just be saying that could be to your detriment this month, at least if you take that too far. Like I said, if there's just some time that needs to take place for the healing process, that's one thing, but to blatantly neglect it and just expect it a way to go on its own might be a bit irresponsible. And obviously we know that's not your style. And maybe this is partially because of Saturn coming back into your sign as well. Alright, in the past position, a lot of cards came up. We have Judgment, Queen of Cups, Four of Swords, Ten of Cups, and Six of Pentacles. Oh, and Temperance. Yeah, like I said, a lot of cards. So it'd probably take us forever to go through all these one by one in depth, but I actually kind of see a storyline here, which is the good thing, and hopefully this resonates with you guys. So with Judgment, I feel like this is saying that this could be someone from your past that might have come back into the picture. Maybe you guys were a bit guarded toward the situation, in the beginning, because you might have still been healing from a situation, whether it was a past situation with this person or possibly another situation. But this, to me, is saying that the potential was there. You know, there's definitely that potential for a happily ever after dynamic, but it could just be saying that it would require some give and take, right? And if you just weren't there yet, you know, it could have just been a timing thing. And mind you, this could be the other person's energy too. Let me just mention that. So whomever might have felt like they weren't ready to give in the situation and were still a bit closed off, you know, could just be saying that, okay, that's something that sometimes can only happen with time passing. But with that Six of Pentacles there, I feel like it's saying that the potential was there. And with Temperance, I mean, these basically that whole stack of cards is bookended by two different cards with angel symbolism. So I feel like it's saying that you or the other person might have just felt guided to the connection, you know, to repair it. And like I said, even if one of you wasn't ready to move forward with it, at the very least there was this feeling that this person was supposed to be there, you know, if that makes sense. So hopefully that made sense. I don't even remember what I said at this point, but hopefully that resonated for you guys. In the present position, we have Three of Swords, the Chariot, and the Ace of Cups. So these three cards, to me, are almost self-explanatory too, which is to say that, yeah, for a lot of you, whether it's you or the other person, the healing process might not be fully done yet, but there's that desire. That's what I'm feeling. Like I said, I feel like there's good intentions there, but either you or the other person, possibly both of you, just aren't quite ready to move forward yet. So that could be the difficulty. But that might be starting to shift now. I think I mentioned it already, but if not, I'm recording this on the 18th. So we're going to have that second new moon in Cancer. So that could help get things moving forward as well. But yeah, the reason I say that timing isn't fully there yet, the Ace of Cups to me always represents an idea, because we see the hand coming out of the cloud. So to me, the cloud makes me think of an idea, and then the neutrality of the background says to me that the potential is there, but there needs to be action taken. So, you know, it could just be one of those things where it's saying you're processing the pain there, and eventually you'll be ready to move forward. Your desire is to move forward, but maybe just not yet. In the near future position, we have the Hermit. So this is Virgo energy, so I feel like this is just saying that a lot of you are just really going to dig deep on this and really evaluate, okay, what was my role? What was the other person's role? What do I want to do moving forward? How do I want to move forward? When do I want to move forward? You get the idea. Just really digging deep on that. And like I said, for some of you, a much smaller percentage of you, especially if you look at the Hermit, he's kind of looking down toward the Queen of Pentacles there. For some of you, could just be saying that you might just really be throwing yourself into your work. And some of you might even realize that maybe that might have contributed to the issue in some way as well. So there could just be a lot of reevaluation of those things, but that's what I'm seeing there. The good thing too is if we think about Virgo being the natural ruler of the 6th house, you guys had that Venus retrograde happen in your 6th house too. So part of this could be tied into your daily routine, your work life as well. And keep in mind that Venus is going to be out of its shadow soon too, and maybe as it moves through those last degrees of Gemini too, there could be some positive momentum and movement around that as well. All right, and your influence on the situation, we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. So to me, this represents that willingness to look past whatever did take place and actually do the healing. So that's why I feel like this is definitely a positive sign there. And I do have to say, for some of you, this might have been around a friendship too, but I'm really picking up on primarily a romantic relationship. Maybe it was just that's how you guys related to each other too. You know, you felt like they were your best friend in a way. But I feel like this is saying that, you know, you guys just might be moving forward from that, and that's obviously a big step, you know, where you actually have to physically let it go. I just wanted to put in the upright while we talked about this for a minute, but similar to what I was saying with the ace energies here, what stands out to me with the 5 of Cups is the neutrality of the background there, right? Which represents to me a choice, which is to say this person has the choice to continue to look at those 3 cups there and dwell on that for however long they want to, or they could turn around and focus on the 2 that are still standing and start growing from there, you know? So I feel like this is saying that for you guys this month, you're finally going to get to that point where you are ready to actually move forward. All right, the environment position, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. So interesting energies here. This represents Jupiter, which is in your sign. It's going retrograde right now. This is actually a Leo energy here, the last 10 degrees of Leo. So think, let's say, between the 12th through the 22nd of August, give or take a day or two on either side. And then this is Gemini energy here. What I feel like this is saying is that time, the timing is right to move forward on this situation. Like I said, whether it's just processing it on an emotional level and moving on from there, or actually repairing the situation. For some of you, it could have just been a totally different person, and that might have been blocking you because you weren't healed from a previous connection. So maybe you've been holding back from a connection with a new person due to that. But I feel like this is pointing to timing, saying that the timing is right. Now, if this is referring to another person, this could just be saying that they might still be a bit guarded. So let's say, like I said, if in a traditional, this might have been more of a traditional fallout where maybe you guys got into a big argument around things, right? I mean, there's just overall tension in the world anyway, as is. And then I mentioned those retrogrades that we had and how they could have impacted you, especially with the Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign. Now you guys have Mars in your 4th house for pretty much the rest of the year. And it's making some aspects with the planets in your sign, and it already made some tense aspects with Mercury, so the energy is definitely there to where this would make sense if you guys were going through this. But yeah, with this here, it could just be saying now if this is the other person and they're still guarded, try not to, take that too hard, because I feel like what this is saying is really it's just because they aren't fully healed from the situation either. And the thing is, if that's the case, even if they were to blow up at you, right, like you actually come forward and try to extend an olive branch to them and they seem immediately defensive toward you, right, could just be saying that immediately afterwards they'll feel bad about it as well. So obviously I feel like the love is there, but it's just that, you guys might have to maybe just give it a little more time. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then even if this is for you guys, where again you might be getting, like I said, some signs from the universe that it's time for you to move forward on something, and you might be the ones that resist it. But I feel like you'll know if that's your case too, because again, I feel like if you do resist it, immediately, after the fact, you'll be like, okay, why did I do that? So if this is just a cycle you guys might find yourselves in, I feel like this is saying this month you actually might be able to move forward from that. Because sometimes we do those things. We push things away that we actually want, and then we're like, why did I do that? Right? So if that's what your concern is, if that's just a pattern you've been in general, I feel like this month you guys might actually see some forward progress from there. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Five of Swords. This card is not a fan favorite by any means, and I'm not a fan of it either, quite frankly. But with this coming up in this position, I'm going to assume that this is a fear for most of you, right? And that could be saying fear of a cycle repeating itself. Like I said, if this was this person with that Nine of Wands you guys had in a challenge position, like, okay, we got through this fight, but it's just a matter of time before it happens again, right? So it could just be saying that you have that fear, like, okay, this is going to happen again. For others of you, if this was around healing, what I always say when the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords pop up together is it always stands out to me that they have the three swords in their hand, right? So to me, it's like, all right, well, in no battle situation would it benefit you to be holding three swords, right? Maybe two at most, because then you have one for each hand, but here you're doing yourself more harm than good. So I see the link there with the Three of Swords. It's like this person is carrying those swords around, because they haven't healed from that situation. Now, that might have been what you're fearing, right? And keep in mind, though, we did see the Four of Swords in the past position. So I feel like it's saying that, you've been getting those signs to actually heal from something. And even if you feel like you're not quite there yet, I feel like the Five of Cups in reverse is communicating that you actually will get there this month. So I don't think you really have to fear this too much. And like I said, if it is one of those things where you do reach out to a person to extend the olive branch and they have a really defensive attitude toward you, then that might be what you're fearing in that regard. Like I said, I feel like if that's the case, just try to give them a little time, because I feel like immediately afterwards they'll feel bad about it. And if you give it a little more time, they'll come back around. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like this is another indicator that you guys will be ready to actually take action at some point. Like I said, with that Five of Cups in reverse, the healing, I feel like it's going to be coming through for you guys. With the Three of Wands, picked up 2 cards. With the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is an energy you guys might have been in for a while, where you felt like you were stuck and you were just like, okay, just going to wait for this to happen. Maybe you're starting to lose a little bit of faith in that, but in that regard, that could be what the Four of Wands is pointing to there, which is to say, hey, you're closer than you think. And I do have to say, beneath that, we actually have the Justice card, which is another good indicator. So with that Queen of Wands, could just be saying that with this Mars energy moving through your 4th house, it might actually let you, put these things behind you. It won't always be, it could be a bit of a bumpy ride at points, because like I said, as Mars moves through Aries before it goes retrograde, it's going to make a bunch of tough aspects with the planets in your sign. But even though they're not the most comfortable energies at times, sometimes the square aspects can force us to do things that maybe we would have otherwise kept putting off. So that's what I see there. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First we have Poised. There's the artwork, and the number is 48. All right, let's see what that has to say. All right, it says being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. The Oracle's message: you can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to, your skills are sharp, you've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase in your life is about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. So definitely a good message there too. And I know like a lot of this took a turn where I feel like this was more of a one-to-one relationship, but even if we're just talking about, more of life in general, with that Wheel of Fortune shown up there, that could be what this message was referring to as well, saying that the timing is right. All right, the relationship message says when you're confident and happy in your own skin, you are ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. You have nothing to prove right now. You are completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, friendships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You're ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. So, I like that message there, because that makes me think of the fact that, like I said, in the foundation position, we do have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the court card for your sign. So I feel like this is just saying, if you're really true to yourself this month, you'll get that forward movement that you're looking for. All right, the prosperity message says you have every reason to feel confident. Everything you need to make your success concrete is now at your disposal. You can take action knowing you are ready to step into your power, into your light, and into your service to the world. The direction you're moving in is your destiny. Your soul is smiling with joy as you align with this truth. So definitely an interesting message there, where it says the direction you're moving in is your destiny, because that makes me think of what I was saying there with the Judgment card and the Temperance in the past. So, it might have been one of those things where you'd been getting signs for a while. Maybe for whatever reason you just weren't ready to move on it. But I feel like if that's the case, that energy and momentum might shift this month and you might actually be ready to move forward. All right. And the next message we have from the Spirit Animal Oracle, you guys got Scarab Beetle Spirit. It says magic works through you. There's the artwork, and the number is 52. So we'll see what this says. Okay, it says in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered, for the creative magic of scarab beetle spirit reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary seemingly out of thin air. Whenever you let your creativity flow through you, scarab beetle spirit reminds you that spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old, for spirit co-creates with you, channeling energy through you, so that you feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now is the time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire, and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow Spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. So, definitely a pretty positive message there, and another one that makes me think of what I was saying with that Wheel of Fortune being in the environment position, saying that it looks like there's definitely some momentum for forward movement for you guys. So, hopefully that resonated. All right, the last thing we have is a Mudra card for you guys, and the Mudra you guys got for this month is the Bhramara Mudra. There it is there. Keyword for it is harmony. All right, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says improves the health of the lungs and the large intestine, balances the immune system, particularly in cases of immune overreaction, reduces allergic reactions to food and pollen, soothes cough and irritated lungs. So, if that sounds like something would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the Mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.